Yeah, guys. So tonight we have a very, very special call. I'm not going to be on here blabbing my mouth like I normally am, right? This call's not about me. But just know if you are brand new, obviously your goal is to tune into this call every single Tuesday at 7 p.m., right? 7 p.m. Central Time. Listen, one of the most important things you can do if you want to win in this business is if you ever have a person join, the business, right? You got to stress to them the fact that this is the most important call that they can be on a weekly basis. Like, this is it. This is where you come to grow. This is where you get to hear the secrets from all the people that you're working with, right? We're all by ourselves every single day. Unless you're working with a team, we come here to share the secrets with each other so we can all win and, have one of the best years we've ever had in our entire life. So the individual I'm going to have come up right now has, been a very pinnacle member, ever since she joined. I've worked on tons of projects with her and just been able to really see what she's truly capable of, right? I've worked with a lot of people over the years. Like, I'm talking like literally tens of thousands of people. And it's not very often that an individual comes in and is already so well rehearsed and understands so much with systems and mindset and vision and is able to just come in and share it like this in such a short period of time. And so this call is going to be a very value packed call for your mindset. Okay. So, what I want you to do is before I pass it over, I want you to get a notebook out and I want you to write down the stuff that you're hearing. It's a proven fact, ladies and gentlemen. If you do not write down what it is that you're about to hear, you are going to forget 95% of it. That's just the plain truth, right? I don't come to these calls to get a little motivational boost, like, woo, I feel good. Now, yeah, I'm happy for 12 hours. That's not why I come here. That's not why I've came here for 12 years, or excuse me, 6 years. I come here to write down the information, you utilize it, right? Use the information and then teach it to new people as well. Okay. So with that being said, guys, I want you to drop some ones inside the chat. Let's pull the chat box up. Let's give Marissa some love for her first leadership call on the entire team. Let's blow that chat up right now. And I will pass it off to you, Marissa. What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. How's everyone doing today? I am so excited to be here, guys. I was so excited when Josh asked me to lead this call tonight. I feel like I have connected with so many of you already, and I have loved being in such a positive community. And I just want to be able to help share some of that positivity with you and some of that vision, and really just be able to start building this community with everyone together and just pour into you guys. So, if you don't know me already, my name is Marissa. I am 25 years old and I am from Wisconsin. I've been in this industry for about a year, but I originally had gone to college and studied like resort and hospitality management, but found that like that type of life wasn't for me. And I was always just searching for more. And so when I came into this space, I quickly realized that there was so much more like possible that we can create within our lifetimes, and like finding those things that we are truly passionate about and being able to just like step into the person that we want to be. And so when I think about this industry and think about everything that we're capable of, some of the things that are driving me is just really being able to create like a life by design, never have to worry about finances, worry about like where I need to spend my time, where I want to spend my time, like with who, like I want to be able to pick and choose exactly the way I want to live my life. And it's so beautiful that this industry allows that and creates that. And so like looking forward to my future and what I'm working towards, I really want to be able to retire my husband and really just create a strong family foundation to raise our kids and give them experiences that they might not have had otherwise, without the time constraints and just financial problems that we could have potentially had we not found this. And I have the pleasure of being able to build this with him side by side. And my true passion is like helping other people, right? And that is something that I've always done, no matter what. So basically, when we got into this industry, we just kind of saw that there's so many different people. And I'm not sure the reason why you guys joined, but we all come from so many different backgrounds, so many different places, and we all have our own reasons why. But it's so powerful that we can come together to create a future together that is more powerful, more impactful, and just really create um, that type of environment for ourselves and create that type of community where we all are passionate and working towards similar things. So if you're new here, uh, a community like this can be so powerful. We can also be able to create just a life-giving residual income along with building some trading and just being able to do more of what we want and create those more meaningful life experiences. Like, we're all here to live this life. We're not here to sit in a desk. We're not here to go build someone else's dream. We're here to build our own. And the second that you give yourself that confidence to step into that and start creating that for yourself is truly the most empowering thing that you can do. And so when you're going through this business, a lot of it requires consistency and dedication. And one super powerful book that I've been reading is called Atomic Habits, right? So it talks all about small changes that you can implement with consistency over time. And one day it's just going to take off and have exponential growth and literally change your life. When we're talking in this industry, whether you're trading or you're building that side of the business, um, you are focusing on becoming 1% better each day. A lot of us come into this industry in this space and we see a lot of different quick results on social media. Everyone places their highlights all over social media. And when you're able to finally visualize like that the type of impact that you are looking to create in your own life doesn't happen overnight. And if it does, it could just come right back down to zero and you have to keep starting over. So playing the long game when it comes to just trading or building a business is essential to have that monumental growth and a legacy type of income. And something that was super powerful from a leadership call we heard last night with Anthony Napolitano. He top leader and mentor in this industry. What he was talking about and how he's created his business that stood out to me is like, if you can consistently look into the future and continue living your life as if it's not just for today but for where you're going, that it is going to just change your mind and keep you motivated and keep you working. um, One day this business and this type of community can become so abundant for you, but the thing that's standing in between you is time and consistency and discipline. So when you're going forward in this business, whether you're new or you've been here, the one thing that I have like clung on to since I've started a year ago is my why. Looking at, why did I choose to take a chance on myself? What am I looking to create with an opportunity like this? The one thing that has really helped me is like to visualize the person that I want to become, the how I'm going to feel, the feelings, the emotions, like picturing like my day-to-day life on what that looks like for when I have made it and living my life as if I've already been there and really just allowing myself to step into that new version of me. Because what I found is motivation isn't found. We all hear like, oh, I'll just wait until I have the motivation for this or for that. And what I realized is motivation isn't found, it's created. So you create it from excitement around the things that you're really passionate about. So when you're having to learn new skills and you're in the beginner stage, everything is like super exciting right away, right? Like you are just like wanting to go. And like as you continue growing and moving forward, sometimes things can be like, well, maybe I'll just do it later. But the thing is, you need to stay consistent in your daily tasks that you have set up for yourself, no matter how boring they may seem or how little impact they may have right now. When you continue moving forward and making those small changes and staying consistent, you can learn to find different ways to make things more motivating and just making small adjustments to keep that consistency going for you. Um, just like learning new habits of trading, building a business, or just showing up to work on your mindset. what I found to be super, super helpful and super impactful is to like schedule in certain times that work with my schedule already. So when I first started, I was working full time in this industry, and it can get really overwhelming, or at least it did for me in the very beginning. I was working, I would come home, I'd be like, oh man, okay, I know what I want to create, and just was super hard for me to keep showing up. But as soon as I realized that I was working against myself with the way I was trying to do things, I was able to recognize how I can make them work for me. So when I would wake up in the morning, I would drink my cup of coffee and I'd listen to a self-development podcast. When I would come home from work, I would immediately sit down and just watch a video that would help let me gain more knowledge and more information about what it is that I'm doing and like how I can get better at it. So with trading, I would sit at home and watch like one video right away after work, because when you get home from work, you want to sit down, you want to unwind. Okay, perfect. Plug it right in. Like just try and find those simple times that can work with you rather than against you to make it so much easier to keep showing up for yourself. Um, so that was a huge takeaway also that I've gotten from Atomic Habits. I feel like everyone really, really should read that book. Um, it has been the absolute game changer for me. But in terms of like keeping things more exciting and finding that motivation or creating that motivation for you, what I've also learned to be super helpful is always revisit your goals and find out more things that can make them exciting, because we're growing every single day. And each day we learn something new. Each day we find that more belief in ourselves. We understand more of what's possible, and not just limiting yourself on those goals that you've placed, but being able to like grow as your mind has grown, or as your business grows, or as your trading goes. Like just keep expanding and never stop, because this game of life that we play, it doesn't stop, and there's so much more to go. And once you start realizing how much farther you can reach into the future, that's when you start understanding that this is truly just the beginning for you, no matter how far along you are in this. So I am a huge advocate for self-development and self-love. I had created my own business called Chase Your Wellness. And so something that really, really resonated with me in this business is that as you're building your business, it is building you. This is something that Josh really has just ingrained in my head, mindset, and just being able to learn how to love yourself as you are right now. Being able to understand that where you're at right now isn't bad. What you're doing is recognizing where you're at, but you're also seeing how much more you have inside of you, and being able to pull out a little bit of that each and every day is truly, truly some of the most powerful things that you can do. And just understanding that you have love for yourself today, you have love for yourself tomorrow, and you have love for yourself as you continue going into the future. And just knowing that as much as you pour into you, you're pouring that into your business, you're pouring that into those around you, and you're pouring that into everyone else whose lives you want to touch. So that is some of like the truest powerful information that I have ever like come to realize, is as soon as you start focusing on you, you can show up better for every single aspect in your life. That's why I'm a huge advocate for self-development and self-love. I had struggled with mental health for many, many years, and I just want to be an advocate for that, and know that this industry is as much a mental game as it is a physical game, as it is everything else. It is completely building and changing your life. Um, and it comes in very, very small steps and with consistency. And over a year, a lot of things have changed. And I know over the next 5 years, they will change as well. Um, so I just want to tell you guys that like I am here to help every single one of you. If you need any help, or as you're growing through this, just any positive like changes that you may like need, like a little positive boost, want to know what video you should watch for trading, on what you want to learn next. If you're building the business, just reaching out to me, like any strategies. I wanted to share with you guys my Instagram here. so you can follow me and reach out to me here. Um, I just want to be able to be a person that you guys can come to if you're struggling with anything, you want to talk about anything. Like literally, I just want to be able to touch every single person's life. Like that is my true mission, is to help as many people as I possibly can in this lifetime, because that is the one thing that drives me every single day. So I just want to encourage you guys to find your why, stay consistent, understand that you need to continue building your mindset and showing up for you every day, and such big things are in store for you in the future. So with that, I'm gonna just turn it back over to Josh and just first say that I am so thankful for you, Josh. Like your belief and your guidance has provided me like with so much. Like you've helped me to step into the person that I was always meant to become. This community has literally changed my life. It is probably the most positive community I've ever been a part of. Every single one of us is wanting to help each other. Like I've never ever seen this. Like ever. It is insane. It's mind-blowing. And just Josh, having you as a mentor and a leader and a friend is just it's changed my life in such a short amount of time. But I'm so excited to keep growing with you, building this community with all of you, and just being able to change thousands of lives in a positive way as we go.
Wow. Well, I super appreciate that. That was an awesome, awesome things you had to say about me. I'm just Josh, but no, guys, let's get some ones in the chat for everything Marissa just dropped. That was absolutely beautiful, and I could say the same thing about you. You know what I mean? It's like we've spent all these years learning and growing and compounding everything into one thing, but our lives can change when someone comes in the business too, like 100%. Like everything about our lives can change, right? And so, I just want to, express my gratitude for everyone on this call. Obviously, we're a really tight community, but just for right when you got started, you took massive action. You know what I mean? So I'm just really proud of you, and I appreciate everything that you dropped on this call. Let me ask you a couple things real quick, on this call. I kind of want to put the focus on you. So on the hard days when you don't want to do anything, how do you get yourself to do stuff?
Yeah, well, my dogs make it easy for me to get out of bed. But after that, it gets really easy to be able to just look at my TV. And I know a year ago, myself would have just sat there and just watched and not had any direction. But the one thing that I do to get me out of those hard days, and when I feel like, oh, I just can't do it today, this is really overwhelming, I just know that I need to take a breath and start visualizing like where am I going to be a year from now? And would the decision I'm making today get me to where I want to be a year from now? And if the answer is no, I know I need to keep going, and I need to continue pouring into myself. And I need to find a way to make it easier to show more excitement for that year future.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. So basically, it's just always asking yourself, is what I'm about to do pushing me closer to my goals or putting me further away? Right?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
huge thing. Me and Jay do that same thing. That's awesome. Um, what would you say is like the best way for an individual to start becoming independent in this business as fast as possible?
Yeah, honestly, just taking initiative and asking every single question that they possibly can. I know when I first jumped into this, I I actually got started on the getting started portion in the back office of iGenius, and I'm like, yo, is this right? And I didn't even know about the system training yet, but just taking initiative and asking every single question is going to like expedite you, because there's at least one person in this chat or in this entire community that has an answer and is more than willing to like hop on a call and give you any guidance and directions to help get you to where you want to go.
Hmm. How many individuals besides like me and Brandon on the team do you think you've like spoken to and like learned stuff from or just like engaged with in conversation?
Honestly, too many to count. I am like in contact with several people every single day. Like uh Jay, Tippa, Brady, Dom, Sydney, Chase, like so many people. I'm just listing the people right in front of me right now. Like I've talked to every single one of you. I love talking in the gallery mode because it literally feels like I'm talking to my friends.
Mm.
Like I have become so close with this community and staying close to the fire and engaged in the chats and really connecting with people has just like pushed me to continue showing up because now people are like they're seeing me like I got to keep showing up like they're my friends like why would I go away now like we got to just keep going and yeah it's super cool.
That's amazing. No, I love that. Okay. Well, I don't have any other questions for you right now. I super appreciate you coming on and sharing some value because I mean, you've been crushing it at a really, really high level. Like what you're doing right now literally took me and Jay like probably half a year to snap into the focus that you have. Like the focus you have is unbelievable right now. So if I were you on this call right now and I were listening, this is why I asked her this. How many people have you spoke to on the team, right? How many people have you worked with on the team? I would, if I were you listening on this call, get around the people that are doing stuff. Stay around the people that are doing stuff. Don't hang out with the people on the team that are complaining and not doing anything. Hang with the people that are doing stuff and just taking action and kicking ass, right? That's what I would do if I were you. Because what happens? You guys ever heard you're the average of the top 5 people you spend the most time with? Well, that's going to be true for this business, right? Me and Jay have seen a lot of leaders that just get together and they just complain, and they're just like, man, like this sucks, that sucks, and then me and Jay are like, dude, we're on cloud nine, like let's go, right? Even when we're struggling, right? Sometimes you have to sell the dream while you're living a nightmare. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, I would just
I
say,
can piggyback off of that just a little bit just because like I can relate to it in the fact that like a year ago I was very brand new to this and like a lot of things change. I think even within your first year and as you're growing like a lot of people start to like drift away from you and it might feel like super uncomfortable just because like that's been your normal. And honestly, that is probably the best thing for you. Whether it feels good or not is a different story. But just know that if it feels uncomfortable, that means you're growing. That means you're moving forward. And that means that you are truly like stepping into that new version that you were wanting to. Like, yes, things are going to change. Like, yeah, obviously, you would maybe want to see them down the road. But when you are growing your mindset and you need to be around people that think the same as you and want to do the same things as you, that's going to be the most powerful people to surround yourself with and really just stay by the fire because if you start going back to what you were doing before it could potentially just be the thing that's holding you back from really succeeding and reaching your true potential with it.
yes, exactly. Uh, so guys, we did a really long leadership call yesterday, but a lot of you weren't on that call, right? So I'm just gonna say a couple things about what you just said. So one thing I want to mention is every little tiny thing that you're doing on a daily basis is compounding everything, good or bad. If you're skipping the calls, if you're not showing up, if you're, going out and hanging out with friends and avoiding the business and everything like that, if everything you're doing is compounding, good or bad, if you're showing up to the calls, if you're taking action, if you're focused, if you're dialed in, if you're doing the daily goals, if you're studying, through the academy, if you're hopping on the trading sessions, it all compounds, right? So there's a quote I heard a long time ago, and it basically says this. I don't know if I'd even call it a quote, but the saying is this. Basically, and Marissa talked about this, the decisions or lack of decisions that you made 2 to 3 years ago are why you are where you are right now. So I want you to think about where are your finances right now? How's your health right now? How's your mindset right now? Your relationships, your love for yourself, all that. How is everything right now in your life? That is all because of the decisions or lack of decisions that you made 2 to 3 years ago. So in 2 to 3 years, it's going to be determined by the decisions or lack of decisions you make today. Whatever decisions you make today or you decide not to make today, that's where you're going to be in 2 to 3 years from now. And so when I realized that, I started really intentionally caring about what I was doing on a daily basis. Not because I want to crush the day, but because in 2 to 3 years from now, I'm gonna be pissed if I'm in the same spot I was 2 to 3 years ago. Right. So I just think it's a really important thing, guys. Failure comes a lot faster than success, right? It's way easier to gain weight than it is to lose weight. Would you all agree, right? It's way easier to gain weight to lose weight. It's way easier to lose muscle than it is to gain muscle, right? It's easy. You don't got to do anything. It just deteriorates, right? So that is how the universal law applies to everything in the entire world. This business, guys, it's really easy to not do the work. It's so easy. You just don't do it. You know what I mean? But it's also easy to make a decision to do it. And so you just got to choose which route you're going to do, and they're going to compound in one of the directions. All right. But I'm going to pass it out to Jay. He wanted to share something, guys. If you don't know Jay Patnode, he's been my business partner for about 6 years. The dude is a personal development junkie. I mean, I've never seen someone watch so many podcasts of personal development in my entire life. And he's taught me a ton, guys. He's one of my best friends, business partners. We live together. He's been a mentor of mine in a lot of different situations in my life. And so he's gonna come on here and just share some stuff real quick too. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pin his video. Okay.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Marissa, congratulations. That was fantastic. I
Thank
just
you.
I want to keep you up because I want to touch on a few things you said and also something that Josh said. But before I do that, I want to give you your flowers because there's like the energy that you radiate and that you bring to the team is fantastic. You know, it's what me and Josh always honestly rave about, and we also just always want in our lives, right? You have, certain groups of people that come in and out. And I think right now we love the energy and the dynamic that the team has because we have people like you. We have people that can bring that good energy that makes you want to be in that environment. And so that's, nobody can hustle or even in like a traditional work environment, nobody wants to work in a hostile environment, right? Everybody wants to feel, accepted and appreciated and that we're all working for a common goal. So I commend you on that for sure. Always keep that energy. I love it.
Thank you.
But something I wanted to touch on that you said like, being in it for a year or so in like the industry and how things change and certain things and people, kind of, move away from you. It reminded me of a quote and it was like, it goes like, when like God or the universe is inviting you places, not everybody can go because that's how you miss your blessings, right? When we first got into this industry, me and Josh, we wanted like our closest friends and our closest family members and all the people around us to do it with us so bad because we wanted them to, take off with us and see this vision and have success with us. And even when we were having success, we kept trying to put people in positions to have success with it, make it easier for them, which, and sometimes in return, we're putting energy in the wrong places and messing up our business. And so that quote, it stuck me for a long time, especially when you first said that. It was like, when the universe is inviting you places, not everybody can come, right? And if you keep focused on that, that's how you miss your blessings. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I wanted it so bad for those people. I saw what they had in them that they couldn't see in themselves. And like at the end of the day, like when you're pouring that energy into those people and they don't want to see it for themselves, you're gonna just run yourself into the ground and it can be pretty devastating, but then you can come back even stronger because you know yourself and you know exactly what they are missing out on, and you're always there for them no matter what if they change their mind and if they start seeing it. But the main thing you have to do is lead by example, because if they don't believe you now, you can show them and you can show them what's possible, and maybe they'll come with you. But if not, you have to be super strong in your own vision and be confident in yourself. And that's why I'm like super huge on the self-love, is like if we're in our own company, we have to love ourselves anyways. We spend the most time with ourselves. So
yeah,
if yeah, yeah. So
a
I
hundred.
think that's super cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that a lot. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, this industry and the things that you get to learn and the person you become. And that's where, when Josh says, as you're building your business is building you, it's one of the most true statements in the entire world because, I mean, you can attest to this. You're probably a completely different person than you were, a year ago, right? and I'm a completely different person I was 6 years ago, or even a year ago. Every single year, it's something added into the business. And there's something that Josh said that I wanted to touch on. He was saying about like the lack of decisions, or the decisions that you made in the past are the reason why you are right now. And I heard this when he said, I'm a personal development junkie. I am. I do listen to a lot of podcasts and different things, because that's where I find my inspiration at, through just different people's stories of life. But it reminded me of another quote. These two quotes popped in my head when you guys were speaking, and it's, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them when you're looking back. You can't always see what's going on. You can't connect, why this works and why this is happening to you, or what, this person came into your life for, until after the movement, or after the time is passed. That's the only time when you're able to look, is in, retrospect. And so knowing, hearing that quote and hearing you guys talk on it tonight, I'm just like, hey, that's one of the biggest things with this industry, is you have to have faith, realistically. That has happened for other people. You see the blueprint, you see the stuff and the work that they put in, and what that has produced for them over 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 30 years. And you have to understand that, if you're running the same exact play, and have faith that that will happen for you. You might not be able to see it when you only have one person on your team, or 5 people on your team, or 20 people on your team, or even 100 people on your team. But every single day that you take a step forward towards your goals, it builds that confidence. And so I guess my question for you, because I want to ask you a question about it, is like, what are some ways, and you talked about it a little bit earlier, but like, what is something that you actively do to keep that faith? And do you think it's more important to, because I'll ask you this. Do you think it's more important to do the personal development side, or do the action side, or what are your thoughts on it?
I honestly think heavy on the personal development, but it's a very good balance between both, because as soon as you start doing the personal development side, you start to gain courage. And then when you actually learn to take action right from that courage immediately, and you're not waiting and writing it on a to-do list for later, like that was the one thing that changed for me. Is like, I would always have all these good ideas like a year ago. I'd be like, ooh, I'm going to make that reel, or I'm going to post this, or I'm going to talk to this person, and this is what I'm going to say. And I would write it out like to a T, like paragraphs. And I'd be like, I'll just do it later. But that was because I didn't have the courage in myself then, and I was hoping it would come later. And when you have those ideas, it's having that courage to just push past it and like take that decision. And yeah, that was the biggest change for me. But I kind of wanted to elaborate a little bit about like, you're talking about like those decisions that you made 2 to 3 years ago. And like the one reframe that happened for me while I was reading Atomic Habits was like, each decision you make, you're either casting in the good direction or in the bad direction. And so when you're like going to the grocery store and you go up to the checkout line, and all of a sudden there's a piece of candy there. Well, are you going to just do it because it looks good and you're like, ooh, I'll just have that in the car? Like in a year from now, are you going to feel good to have bought that candy bar? Is it like that much of an experience that you're going to remember it? Or is it a cast in the bad direction? Like, yeah, absolutely. Like if you go out to a fancy dinner and you have, like, I'm just talking in general of like food eating, but if you go out to like a fancy dinner and like you get a nice dessert and you remember it, like then it's worth it. But like it's just trying to bring yourself and staying present in the moment. I think that's like the biggest thing, is like understanding that we don't have the future, we don't have the past. All we have is right now, and what we can do with that is so powerful. And if we are consciously making our decisions in a way that we want to see ourselves in the future, I think that changes everything, literally.
100%. I couldn't agree with you on on multiple levels. A lot of people that know me on a very, very personal level, a lot of people I've grown up with, they'd say I plan for the future, but I try to be as present as possible. And so I definitely believe you 100%, because the stuff that obviously we can do, as of right now, right? You can get off this call right now and go make decisions that are going to put you towards your goal. Or you can say, I'm going to plan for it tomorrow and then do it tomorrow, which is obviously still want to do it tomorrow, But if you have the ability and you're able to, do it. And that's actually why one of like my two phrases for the year are two words is discipline and now. Is discipline one is I want to make this be the most disciplined year ever. If I say something, do it, don't go back on my word and stick to it. And then now is, like you just said, you have these thoughts of like, I want to make this where I want to create this content. And it's let's just do it now, right here, today, in this very moment. If I'm not doing anything, let's get it done. And so I
Yeah.
like that. I like that a lot.
So like I I had that big switch too. I really like that those are your like two words for the year, but like so every time that like you actually show up for yourself, like you can say, "Okay, I'm going to wake up at 5:30 tomorrow morning and I'm going to go to the gym." But just remember this, every time that you wake up and you just hit that snooze button, you're like, "I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow." You're actually like breaking down the trust that you're building within yourself, and it like
Mm,
it makes it harder to show up for other things that you say you're going to do. And so the second that you start like literally showing up and actually following through on the things that you say you're going to do, you're building that trust within yourself, and then you're able to move from there and gain that positive momentum so that like it can literally start flourishing into other aspects of your life.
100%. And if you can't show up for yourself, how can you expect yourself to show up for others in a team? And so that's definitely one of those things that, align with how we always say you have to become the person that is able to help 500 people or become the person that is deserving of 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 5,000, $2,000 a month before you can actually receive those things. You don't get the money and then you become that person that's worthy of it. You become the person that's worthy in mind, body, and spirit. And then everything else gets attracted to you. So I really like that. And Josh said in the chat, bag compounding, 100%. That snooze button is a hell of a button. So anybody that's struggling with the snooze button, I found a good technique. I place my phone on the opposite side of the room. So I have to go get up to get it in the morning, no matter how bad it is. Josh knows I could probably sleep through about like 20 minutes of my alarm, but I'll eventually get up. But I can't snooze it. So good 20 minutes is all I got in me, but I'll eventually get up.
I actually got like a regular alarm clock, so I had to like go and get it because it's very loud. Like I found myself becoming accustomed to like the ringtone that I was doing it, so I was like changing it up, but like
Yep.
that wasn't working. So I needed an actual alarm clock that would just sound the alarm, literally.
100%. I like that. I like that. I need to get on that too because I'm definitely accustomed to my alarm. I put about three different alarm sounds in it, but I think I'm starting to get accustomed to all of those as well. I got the little bells, the little chimes going in the background too. So
Yeah.
definitely used to it. Definitely used to it.
So
So
I kind of wanted to go back on like one thing that we were touching about just because I literally just made a reel about it and I think it would be super powerful to mention here is just like the realization that time is going to pass regardless of what you do now. Time is always moving forward. But the thing is, you have the option to make a conscious decision to move forward and spend your time in a way that you are wanting to spend your time, or you can unconsciously let life take its course. But every time that you make that conscious decision, you are moving closer and closer to your goals. And every time like your inner voice speaks to you, like, I should do this right now, that is just a little nudge in the right direction going towards your goals. If
100.
that makes sense. So I just
No,
wanted to drop
100.
that a little bit in there.
I like that. No, that's definitely a nugget right there for sure. And it really all comes back down to, do your work early. That was another thing Anthony had said in the call yesterday is like he made his first million at 19 years old. And so it was like he chose to take the action very early so he didn't have to do it when he was later on in life, right? When you are 30, when you are 40, when you are 50, and whatever age you guys may be, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about when you start, it's about what you do from the starting point, right? A lot of people say one day instead of making today day one, right? And so that's something that I found, something that I found all throughout my career is it doesn't matter when you start, it doesn't matter what age. I know people that started, 2 years ago that have accomplished more than people that have been in it for 10 years. You know, when we first got into the industry, our mentor had been in network marketing, I believe, maybe 3 years prior, and we passed them up within the first year and a half. And so it's like, it doesn't matter when you start, it's about all the action that you take, being present and understanding that, like you said, the days are going to pass. It's actually one of my favorite quotes. The days are going to pass regardless. What are you going to do within those times? And so, as you know, we're ending the near end of the call. I wanted to ask, what is something that you would give for, advice to people on, if, you know, like why this business, like realistically, outside of just maybe net like you're outside of maybe just the whole idea of making money, but like, why this business? Like, why is this something you can see yourself doing for the next 30, 40, 50, doing it till you want to retire? But in reality, I think about it all the time, like, would I ever really want to retire if all I have to do is help people and speak and give advice and wisdom of stuff that I've learned? So what is it, like a word, like a nugget or a reason why this is worth it for the next 30, 40, 50, 6 years?
Yeah, yeah. So, that's a really deep question. I definitely have to ask myself that every single day because like there's always that one little part like when you come from like a workforce like, oh, I could just go back, it would be easier, but then you think and it's like nothing is easy and it's just a different battle. And with this type of a business, it makes it so much easier to be able to continue to choose yourself and choose like who you want to be and not be like formed into the rules that someone else has placed on you and not have to go with what someone else tells you to do, but go with your gut feeling and be able to make an impact from that. And so for long-term vision, like being able to understand that because you went first and you decided to take a chance on you, that anyone you pour that belief and vision into and you are able to help, they will go and they will take that and they will share it with others. Like I kind of relate it to like you and Josh, and just like you guys went first and we're all here. And now we're here and we're making an impact. And it will continue to ripple out and it's like a big ocean and you guys were the first wave that has just created this massive massive momentum going forward, and knowing that like each single person like of us has that potential to go and be able to change the lives of others and pour our belief into them so that they can have a little bit part of you that they can then take with them for the rest of their lives and pour that into other people. And knowing when they pour it into other people, that's how you create a legacy. That was one thing that I really, really took out of the GoPro this year, Eric Worre's GoPro, just being able to create a legacy, create an impact, but it's all in the contribution. It's all in what you can give to people and what you want to be known for, essentially, and what you want to be able to give to other people, not monetary wise, not anything else, but that belief and that vision, that positivity, and being able to just pour that into other people, that's something priceless. You can't put a price to that amount of knowledge and like information and passion that literally ripples out in waves.
100%. I love that. That was so well, so beautifully put. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't remember, really never remember what people say to you. Remember how they made you feel. And in this business, you'll learn a lot of information. You'll hear a lot of quotes. You'll hear a lot of stories. You'll do a lot of growth. But it's like the stuff that you truly remember, even when you're at events or when you're on calls like these and you're hearing you speak. It's, you remember how that person made you feel, and that's what can guide you in those right directions. So that is beautiful, and I think at the longer, whether that's someone's goal right at the beginning or not, the longer you're in this, that is more what it becomes of. It doesn't become so much about necessarily the monetary value, although obviously, we love that aspect of it at all. But the fact that the impact and how you can change people's lives in those different ways is, it's what this thing's about, man. It's what this thing is about. And so I appreciate you greatly, and thank you for spitting a lot of wisdom, because I think you crush it. And I think you're an amazing speaker, and I can see you being on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people, crushing it and rocking it out And I know that this year holds very big things for you and everybody that you are connected with and the whole entire team, because the energy is rating everywhere, team together, each other achieves more. And that's what we're doing right now. So I don't know if Josh wants to come back on or if you have anything else you want to close it out with, some closing statements or something, but I will allow you to say whatever else you want to say.
Yeah, I'll just close the call out. Yeah, guys, I mean, you guys crushed it. That was amazing. And I just a reminder for everyone here, every day, it's gonna sound cheesy, but start doing personal positive affirmations. Right? You want to do positive affirmations. Okay. I spoke to an individual on this call. We were on a leadership call, and I'm like, yo, have you ever done positive affirmations? Right? I am wealthy. I am rich. I am successful. I am winning. I am a top earner. I make X amount of money a month. I'm so happy and grateful now that I make this per month, right? By this date. I want you guys, when you take a shower, to do 10 positive affirmations in the shower every single day. I literally do it without miss because I've done it for years. So it's on autopilot. I remember I go like the gym at Lifetime. I'm like doing them in there, and I'm like, God, I hope no one hears me like right now. I like the shared locker, but start doing positive affirmations every single day, 10 times a day. Like, no joke. I'm not playing around, guys. It'll change your life. The,
For
the
sure.
the reason why you might be down, some of you in this business mentally sometimes, is because you're telling yourself bad stuff in your head. How about we start telling ourselves good stuff out loud? It's extremely powerful, right? And then with all the action you guys see happen in the group chats, a rising tide raises all ships. Just because you see one person winning, guess what? That means everyone's going to start winning. A rising tide raises all ships. We're all the ships, guys. There's a tide coming, and we are all going to go to the next level. It's going to be
Storm is a brewing, baby. A storm is a brewing.
Storm is a brew 100%. It is way easier to build this business fast than it is slow. Okay. That's my advice to you. If I could have told myself one thing when I got started, I would have been like, Josh, it is way easier on yourself to go fast than it is slow. They're both hard, right? The business is going to be hard regardless, right? That's why there's an opportunity, but it's so much easier to go fast. It's way, 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 way easier to go fast. What's up,
It's
Jack?
something I was going to mention before the call gets closed out. Look, if you are one of those people that are putting in a lot of work, messaging a bunch of people, trying to build the business actively, and you just don't necessarily see it, maybe you reach out to a bunch of people, just talk to me. Maybe we need to change something. So something that I've been doing with people on the team, and if you want to, you can reach out to me for it as well, as accountability and goal setting, right? And every week we check in. And so the whole goal of it is to be able to track your metrics, right? If you're reaching out to 20, 30 people every single day and you're not getting responses, well, maybe there's something wrong with your invite process. If you're inviting people and you're getting responses, but you're not getting them on calls, maybe there's something wrong with your edification process. So the P, not the P, but the edification process. Maybe if you are getting them on calls and you're not converting them into people that sign up, maybe it's your closing process, your closing process. And if you're getting people on the team and they're just not doing anything, maybe it is how you launch them, or maybe it is your training process. So if you need help with that, I'm going to put my number in the chat. You can always hit me up on Instagram as well, whatever it is. And let's work. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to say that, because if you are one of the people that is putting in the work and you just aren't feeling like it's not doing the most you could, or you could be doing better with it, well, then let's dissect it. So just wanted to put that out there.
We have a presentation, guys, in 30 minutes. If you're on this call and you don't have your free account yet, follow up with like 20 people right after this call. Let's pack this call out, guys. You guys got 30 minutes to put as many guests as you can on this call. Listen, this is for you. It's not for us. You putting people on the call is going to allow you to have a free membership. That was my goal at 20 years old. I'm 26 now. I just didn't want to have to pay anymore. That's just the reality of it, guys. So use the information, use the knowledge you just got, and everything like that. And just success loves speed. Right? Success loves speed. So take action after this call. Let's pack this call out at 8:30, and I will see you all on there. Let's go get it. Let's keep having an amazing week. Okay. Peace out, y'all.